everybody. So today's video is a slightly unusual one for me, or it feels unusual anyway. I do a little bit of gym content in vlogs, but I've never really sat down and done any kind of like fitness, diet type video. I just eat food. But in terms of fitness, I have had a lot of questions over the past few weeks. I get it, it's January and lots of you are looking to get back into the gym after Christmas or kind of want to start going to the gym. I didn't want to be one of those videos that is really cliche, like New Year's resolution, go to the gym type video, but a lot of you have asked to see this and I was going to do it at some point, so I'm going to be a cliche. So this video is more going to lean towards fitness. If you follow me on Insta stories and Instagram, or you just watch the vlogs, you'll know that I can't really diet. I'm not allowed to, it's not good for me. I have to like not really think about food very much, so I'm not really going to talk about that in this video. I will kind of touch a little bit on like a certain bit later on in this video, but that is literally the only catering towards the gym that I do in terms of food. I'm just going to get on with it because that made no sense. So I thought I'd get started by quickly talking a little bit about my fitness journey. I've always been into fitness a little bit. Even when I was a kid, I really liked doing at-home workouts. I think it comes from my mum used to do like video workouts, as were the trend in the 90s, so I used to do a lot of those. Consequently, I actually have a really strong core now, which is amazing. Bit with a 13-year-old was kind of like loving exercise of an evening at home. But anyway, so it's always been something I liked. Sports, not so much. I am not a competitive person, but in terms of like at-home workouts, I really enjoyed it. But over my teen years, that definitely slacked, and I'd say I started kind of getting back into fitness only a couple of years ago, really. I'd done like at-home YouTube things over the years in my early 20s, but I had never set foot in a gym since basically school until, let's say, 4 years ago. Yeah, it would have been, oh my god, it would have been over 4 years now. I joined the gym, which is a very basic gym, and I had an induction there, and I also had a personal trainer there, and that was mainly to get an understanding and a feel for all of the machines, when I should be increasing weights, what I should be aiming for. So yeah, that was when I started, and I was still very relaxed with it then, and I didn't feel that the strategy was kind of very well catered to me, and I didn't really enjoy it so much. But then my friend Stevie, her husband Alex, runs a gym in Brighton called Revolution, and for a couple of years after that he personal trained me, which was so fun because working out with a friend is always so much fun. I still do that now. I really enjoy when you can like bring new exercises to the table and be like, I want to try this, or you should try this, and working out with him was great, and I really enjoyed doing that. Don't do it so much now because my schedule is so hectic that I find it really hard to commit to one slot. I think about 18 months back my personal training sessions did start to slip because I got a new puppy and I just couldn't really leave the house as much as I have been because I had to be around a lot more. That definitely started to slip, and I joined just like a general gym in Brighton. I didn't have as much time to commit to personal training, so I joined just a regular gym in Brighton, and early last year started to actually really get into going semi-regularly. I basically, whenever I'd have a hangover, I'd go to the gym and run on the treadmill because it made me feel better, endorphins and all that. And slowly I actually really started to get used to going to the gym, and I really enjoy just being on a treadmill. It's really good for my mind. So through that I found my happy place with the gym. It's not all body weight workouts or weights or anything like that for me. Actually, cardio is so important in terms of my fitness schedule, regime, whatever word you want to use. Cardio is really important for me. In my job I don't do a lot of moving. There's a lot of editing, a lot of sitting still. Things can get very stagnant, and just going to the gym for at least half an hour every day, just doing like half an hour's exercise, as is the kind of government recommended level of exercise you should do per day. I wasn't even hitting the base minimum, and I really noticed since I started working for myself how that had affected my body and my mindset, and I have always really enjoyed my commute home from work. It's my time to kind of like wind down. I always really enjoyed walking home from work. So last year I kind of realized how important that daily cardio is to me mentally, and now I literally can't go without it. So over the year last year I started just doing more on the treadmill. At first it was running, and I would do that kind of a couple of times a week, and then on the days in between I would just walk, just like a really standard flat walk. And I would do that even when I was away in other countries as well, because every hotel gym has a bog standard treadmill. So it just got me started. It was just that little kind of tiny thing that didn't really feel like a big deal, and it wasn't difficult, and I just put my favorite music in and just kind of zone out. And now it really lets my mind wander, and I get really creative when I'm on the treadmill, which is great. But yeah, that's kind of how I got to where I am now. And over time, my shins really do not like me running, so I've stopped that. I know a lot of people are like, you could do this to help that, or you can do this, and honestly I just don't love running as much now as I love what I'm actually doing to change anything. I do an incline walk now, and that is something that I enjoy so much that I just can't be bothered to go back to doing running. Occasionally I'll just do a little quick sprint if I just feel like I've got like an extra burst of energy that I just want to use up, but most of the time I just do my incline walk. I'm not going to talk too much about exactly what I do because I've built it up over time, and I don't want anyone to measure themselves to that and be like, oh, I can't do that. But I just basically over time increased the incline that I was doing, started on something that felt very, very comfortable to me, and I always try and make whatever I'm doing a little bit harder once it's feeling too easy, just because I think that kind of pushes your fitness levels a bit more. So in terms of what I'm doing at the moment, I do the incline walk daily, I would say, bar maybe missing like 1, maybe 2 days a week. And then I will do weights or bodywork exercises 3 to 4 times a week. That is my goal at the moment. End part of last year, it was definitely twice a week to once a week because Christmas, busy, you know. And the one thing I would say, a lot of people hate doing any kind of like walking or running or incline walks on the treadmill. The one thing I would say is that I have noticed from doing it all the time is 7 minutes in is kind of your sweaty point. After about 16 minutes, I start to feel like it gets easier, and the 22-minute mark of doing an incline walk, I am so freaking happy, and the endorphins really kick in, and it's great. So that is the one thing that I've kind of realized in doing that, and I think that's why I've got this happy point where I always make sure I hit that sweet spot when I'm doing any kind of gym exercise, so that I leave the gym feeling really, really positive versus leaving or stopping something at the sweaty point because gross. And in terms of the body weight stuff that I do, I tend to do more actual weight if there is someone with me, just because I'm really lazy, and if there's no one around, I will kind of skimp on the weights a little bit. I do a lot of body weight workouts, which I have made a list of because my memory is like I'm a little goldfish and I can't remember anything. So my body weight workouts are bicep dips, I think that's what they're called, push-ups, leg raises, side crunches, squats, and lunges. Those are my kind of like go-tos. They're kind of very standard. Those are my go-tos for just kind of toning everything up. I tend to do abs basically every time I go into the gym at the moment, and I make it harder every single time just because that's one area that I feel like I need to work on really, really regularly, and having a solid core is actually really good for everything else that I do as well. Arms I'm doing a lot more at the moment because I have realized that my upper arm strength has definitely slipped, and I mainly do especially like upper body strengthening for my own general everyday use, which sounds really weird, but just it's good for things like being able to carry the shopping and stuff like that. And your core is also really important for just general everyday stuff as well. So a lot of the stuff that I do is definitely catered towards just making my everyday life easier. Like all of the incline walks that I do have helped me so much because Brighton is very hilly, and getting around and walking places is actually like hard work. It's not like a place like London or New York where everything is very, very flat. We have a lot of hills. It's actually crazy, especially where I used to live before I moved. I had to get to my gym, I had to walk up the most awful hill, and I really realized from doing the incline walking all the time that it was becoming so much easier. And that's a really good feeling when you're just kind of like, yeah, no, I can do this, and I don't even break a sweat. So a lot of what I do is catered towards my own general everyday health, but I have noticed through going to the gym all the time that my body has changed, and I feel like I need to address that. It's not something that I started doing that because of. I actually started doing it because I was really hungover and I just needed to sweat out and clear my mind and feel a little bit better about the night I'd had before. That was my main motivation behind it. But yeah, now it's a mixture of just keeping everything quite toned, and then my everyday fitness levels, I'm always trying to push myself to do more, and I find it really satisfying hitting a target and kind of like having new goals to work on all the time. I am very competitive with myself, not with other people. Like I said, can't do competitive sports, but with myself I am very, very competitive. So I think that is part of what helps me to self-motivate. That's one of the questions that I've had the most over the past couple of weeks, is how do you motivate yourself to go to the gym? One, I really enjoy doing cardio. Like I said, the endorphins kick in, but it also helps me to think really, really creatively. A lot of my best work and best ideas come from the treadmill. I genuinely do enjoy it and think that helps. definitely found what I enjoy doing over the past couple of years. So especially like weights are not my fun thing. I only do them a couple of times a week, but cardio is my fave, so I do that a lot more regularly, and that gets me going to the gym more. And actually once I've been there a little while and I'm on the treadmill, then sometimes I will actually go and do more after that. It's just that kind of initial getting you into the gym. Sometimes I'm like, I'm just gonna go and I'm just gonna be on the treadmill for 10 minutes and then I'm gonna leave because I'm not feeling it today, and then I'll be there for an hour. It's just getting yourself in, not putting too much pressure on yourself. But yeah, I am very, very self-motivated by goals as well, and hitting targets and always improving, so that helps me a lot. And in terms of how many of each bodyweight workout that I just mentioned that I do, I tend to now do it for a certain time and work within that time, so as many of that exercise as I can do in that time, just because I find that that's most effective rather than doing a certain number, because I think then it's harder for me to want to increase the number that I'm doing. If I'm doing 15 leg raises and then I get to 15 and I could do more, I don't, because I'm like, I've done my 15, I'm out. So that is something that I am starting to do. And it's also, if you work out with a friend, that is also easier because you can have a different fitness level and still do the same workout and exercise and it be effective for both of you. So that is my one little tip as well, if you do want to go with a friend. And then once I've done all of these things in the gym, I always end with stretches. I am one of those people that will just downward dog anywhere in the gym that I get space, so I do that, and then the pigeons pose, and then I'll just kind of like try and stretch out my arms the best I can. Like, they are dying at the moment. I didn't do a very good job the other day, I have to say. So yeah, that is kind of what I do in the gym. I've kind of talked a little bit about motivation. Like I said, that was something a lot of you really wanted me to talk about, but my one thing that I would say is, if you go to the gym enough and make it routine, it will feel alien to you when you don't go. So it will be like coming home and not eating your dinner. When I get to the end of a working day, at the moment I normally work out in the evening, so when I get to the end of a working day, I feel really odd if I don't go to the gym, because it's so part of my routine. I go to the gym, I come home, shower, eat. That's my evening routine. In terms of like in the summer, I generally tend to go in the morning. I love being outside in the sun in the morning, it makes me so happy. If I don't do that, I feel really weird in the morning and don't know what to do with myself. So make it part of your routine, make sure it's something that you love doing, and find something that you really love doing. I also had a lot of questions about people feeling like everyone's looking at them when they're in the gym, or feeling slightly self-conscious. I probably did feel that way in the beginning. It's hard to remember, but I did obviously start with a PT, so it made me feel less self-conscious. So I think if you go with a friend or you have someone with you in some capacity, I think it generally eases your nerves a bit more because you're with somebody. I also just remember that everyone starts in the same place. We've all been there where that kind of stuff was really, really difficult. We've all been that first person like going into the gym for the first time. But I'm that kind of person that I don't watch other people in the gym and I don't really judge. So it's really hard for me to put myself in the mindset of someone that would do that. What I would say is that if anyone is watching you, they're not working hard enough on their own workout, and that is their own problem. Once you have been to the gym a couple of times and you're comfortable with it, you just don't really think about it, and it's just one of those things where you have to start. You just have to start. I get questions every day like, how do I start going to the gym, or how do I start blogging? How do I just start? Like, that is the best thing you can do. Just even if you go into the gym and you just kind of like are like, yeah, okay, and you walk back out, the next time walk in, go a bit further. Like, if you need to ease yourself into going to the gym, which I think I actually did. I think the first time I ever went to my first gym, I walked in and was like, no. So you have to just like ease yourself into it, even if it's just like going in, doing treadmill for 10 minutes, done, and just kind of expand on that, whatever gets you in the gym. Playlists. I think one of the reasons that I don't think about anyone else in the gym and I'm just so happy when I'm in the gym is actually because I love music, and I love just whatever music you love. Stick it on really, really loud, and just do your thing. Like, honestly, it is my like happy time in the day where I just get to listen to my favorite music, even if it's something I've already listened to 16 times that day. It's something I get to do completely uninterrupted, and I absolutely love it. Just being on the treadmill, like, I'm often that person that you will kind of see like literally doing this. And I always find the most effective songs for me that pass the time so quick are the songs that I know all of the words to. So I will have a playlist that's like a mix of things that I'm really loving right now and I know a lot of the words to, but then also like some old school kind of like R&B that I know all the words to, and it's just my happy place. I will link a couple of my favorite playlists off of my Spotify and have a listen to if you have like similar music tastes to me. If you don't, you're gonna be like, let's go, and her music taste, oh my god. But yeah, I will link my Spotify for you. You can just trawl through playlists, see if there's anything you love. I might try and make my like ideal gym one, but honestly, like, I use similar playlists for lots of different things. Any kind of concentration or like hyping, I'll use it for various different things, so they're never really called like the gym playlist. So lots of people have asked, when do you go to the gym? And I kind of touched on that earlier. So in the summer I tend to change my routine a little bit more, and there's not really for any particular reason other than I just really like being outside when it's sunny. So I tend to try and go more in the morning, make the most out of the day and everything. I also get up earlier in the summer because it is sunny. I just don't wake up in the winter when it is dark. I really struggle. So to get up that little bit earlier in order to make time for the gym is very difficult for me. Dark mornings are not the one for me. Yeah, so when I have that extra time in the summer, I go in the morning, but at the moment I don't have that extra time because I am not getting up until I can just like see a smidge of daylight. I don't enjoy the dark. It's weird. I'm an autumn baby. I should be used to this. But yeah, so I tailor when I go to the gym in terms of the time of day, and I also just tailor how long I spend in the gym to the time that I'm feeling. I don't feel like you should stick to one specific thing, like I have to go to the gym for this much time, I have to do this. I think when you give yourself a lot of rules, that's actually really counterproductive, and you're more likely to just give up because you're just like, well, I didn't do that, and I haven't been every day this week, and I haven't done this. So the more you can just be like, oh, I wanted to go to the gym today, I've been in there, I did 10 minutes on the treadmill, still been, life is great. Even if it is just that, like you literally are just like, I'm just gonna go as much as I can, as often as I can. It doesn't matter what I do. Just leave yourself open to it, because then you leave yourself open to like a more positive mindset in terms of like, yeah, I went to the gym today, which is what I do a lot of the time. I have literally, the other day, last Saturday, I literally was like, okay, I've got 20 minutes. That means I can do 10 minutes on the treadmill. So I walked to the gym and walked back, literally did 10 minutes on the treadmill. Oh, I got a lot of questions as well about my hair wash schedule, given that I go to the gym every day. My apologies, I cannot be too helpful with this because number one, I have magic hair that just can go for quite a long time. Even when I'm sweaty, I can go for a very long time without needing to wash my hair. It's magical. I don't know. I think it's because I don't wash it so often that it just self-cleans. I don't really know. It's weird. I sometimes wonder, I'm like, do other people look at this and think it's really gross? But like, this is it. I'm on day 3 now and it's absolutely fine. I don't know why that is. I do use dry shampoo, obviously, the longer that I get into my hair wash cycle. But yeah, I really don't wash my hair that often at all. I always have my hair in a ponytail when I work out. The higher the better, because then I don't get like neck sweat or anything, and it doesn't like touch my sweat on my back, doesn't touch my hair, because that's gross. That grosses me out. I really don't wash my hair very often at all, especially at the moment I have tape and extensions, so washing my hair is just a no. I will put that off for as long as physically possible. I wouldn't worry about washing your hair every day. In fact, I would actually make this an opportunity to go for as long as you can without washing your hair and start training it to need washing less, because really isn't that just the dream? But yeah, dry shampoo is your best friend when you're going to the gym, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So food, I'm going to touch on very quickly. It's as simple as this. Lots of people are like, do you diet? What do you do? I can't, I'm not allowed to diet. I don't really want to go into that so much in this video because that's not what this video is about, and also I don't want to make other people feel uncomfortable, and I know it can. So I don't really do too much focused on my food at all really, but the one thing that I am conscious of is on days when I do more weights and things like that, I definitely introduce more protein into my diet that day. On days that I am more active, I will make sure that my kind of food that day is more carb based so that I have the extra energy. Otherwise I find everything is just a struggle. And then on days that I am kind of like sat around more, if I'm having like a non-gym day, my diet is more kind of like around fats. So I'll have like salmon and avocado and stuff, like nice stuff like that, and I will have more like pasta and all my favorite yummy foods basically on gym days. So like pasta, rice, they're my like 2 absolute favorites. So yeah, that is the kind of way that I tweak my diet, and I think that was because I was told, God, it's been so long ago since I got this bit of information, but it's basically, I've asked Lois, neither of us can remember. The basic sentiment of it is when you are not being so active, the carbs that you consume are stored up more, and we can't remember what the reason for the fat was. So we are going to just either put it on screen or link it in the info box. But yeah, that is my kind of like methodology that I think was set in for me like a year ago now. I started doing that, and I've just found that to be really effective. I'm not hungry because I'm not having so many carbs just by the way that I've tweaked my meal. I don't find myself getting massively hungry, and I'm still eating what I want. Life is great, and as a lot of you will know, I still eat a lot of junk food. So not that I'm encouraging you to do that. I don't think we should all eat as much junk food as I do. It's probably not healthy, but so yeah, that is the only tweak that I really make to my diet, kind of my carb intake, my protein intake and everything on gym days, and depending on whether I've done weights or not. So basically weights, more protein, lots of cardio, more carbs is the essential. Those are like the main 2 points. People have asked about supplements and shakes. I don't do any of that. I actually find like protein shakes and stuff like that really grim. Whenever someone else in the gym has one around me, I'm just like, Not to say you shouldn't have one, but I am quite funny about like that kind of thing. I don't really like to have any kind of food around me or anything like that working out. I just want water. I want something that's going to cool me down, and that's literally like, that's it. I also did get asked about how much water I drink a day, as much as physically possible, but I don't monitor it because I just think that's another thing that's going to stress me out if I haven't had enough per day. So I just try and consume as much liquid as physically possible, and that's it. But I try not to pay too much attention to all of these things, and I think that actually really helps. I think it's actually counterproductive to just spend all your time worrying and stressing about these things. Stress in general is really bad for you, and your body behaves very differently when you are constantly in a state of like stress and anxiety. Just kind of being very, very relaxed with it and just enjoying the kind of fitness healthy process. I had a lot of questions about how much weight have you lost? Do you go to the gym to lose weight? I don't go to the gym to lose weight. That wasn't why I started. That was never why I started in the first place. I actually started a long time ago because I noticed that everyone in my family has a lot of back pain, neck pain, everything pain. Everyone is in pain. I am pretty sure that that can be helped by being more active and having a stronger core, having like your muscles that are supporting everything be stronger. Basically, I just want to give myself the best chance at like growing old gracefully as physically possible. I'm trying to just be very good to my body now in hopes that it will be good to me later. Being self-employed, I know that even after YouTube, I will still always work for myself. That is something that's really important to me, is my own health in terms of giving my career the most longevity physically possible and not being kind of like in a lot of pain all the time and having things that like hinder just my daily life and my ability to kind of work and things like that. So that was my main kind of like reasoning behind it a long time ago. I don't get anywhere, like I literally have like minimal back pain now. When my back does hurt, it's probably like a couple of times a year, and it's because I've been kind of like actually doing something that has hurt it, as opposed to I used to get into bed every day and every night my back would hurt just lying flat, and I don't get that at all anymore, which is amazing, and I'm so happy about that. But yeah, weight loss has never been the goal. I have lost weight over the past year. I'm gonna say I've lost weight. I don't actually know that I've lost weight because I don't weigh myself, but I appear slimmer over the past year because I have been going to the gym on a kind of like semi-daily basis, just on a really, really regular basis, and I am a lot more active in general, which is great, and I definitely feel the benefits of that very much holistically. Like as a whole, I just feel happier and I eat very differently. I don't comfort eat anymore because of that. Yes, I have slimmed down. This was never the aim, and I don't know how much weight I've lost because I don't weigh myself. I don't even own a set of scales. I know everyone asks me this, how do you measure your suitcase? I just have a little handheld thingy, but yeah, I don't have scales, and I think that's really healthy for me. I think in general it's very, very healthy is not to look at weight, because as you build muscle weighs more than fat, so actually you can appear slimmer and weigh more. So I definitely weigh more than I did when I was in my early 20s, but I'm actually the same size, give or take, so there is that. Muscle weighs more. Honestly, I just recommend going to the gym and enjoying being there and just being your happiest, because I think when we are our genuinely happiest, most positive selves, that's the sweet spot. That's my gym chat. I also have a few new gym bits that I wanted to talk to you about quickly before my memory completely runs out on my camera. I've got a little haul for you. I've been sitting on this for a couple of weeks and I thought I would just get it over and done with. I'm gonna go through these first because everyone always asks me, one of my most asked questions is, what trainers do you wear to the gym? A lot of you see them in the vlogs and you really like them. I picked up a new pair of these Nikes. I can't remember what they're called. They're the women's Nike Epic React Flyknit. I actually did some work with them on these earlier this year. That was how I discovered this pair of trainers. I have them in cream and then I bought them myself in black, and now I have a new black pair because my other ones are just, the bit at the side is kind of coming away and they are just like quite grubby. They need a wash. But obviously I go to the gym so much that I was like, how am I going to wash them? I need to wear them. But yeah, they're my absolute favorite. They are one of those trainers that I can kind of wear with an outfit and go out to the shops and stuff like that after I've been to the gym, and I don't look like I'm in my gym kit because they're very chic. So those are my absolute favorites. So yeah, I have a nice shiny new pair, and I'll keep my old pair as well and kind of have them on rotation. The old pair has had daily use for so long now that it's kind of not surprising that I need a new pair already. And then I also picked up some new sports bras and leggings. So I'm going to show you the one that I'm wearing now. This is from Ivy Park. I am obsessed with this. So it's got the kind of like mesh back and it's like one shoulder. I love a one-shouldered thing, it's great. And then a little strap here which is actually detachable as well. Then I've got these leggings. These are from Nike. I will obviously do cutaways of these. I love these leggings so much. I had them in the summer again from the campaign that I did with Nike in a crop, and I really love the full length version. Obviously a lot more practical for me given that it's very, very cold right now, and yeah, I just find them really, really comfortable to wear. So these leggings are just like my favorites at the moment. Then I picked up this sports bra. This one I have worn. I have to say I have two from Nike and the size difference between them is actually crazy. Yeah, yeah, this is like a nice little olive green sports bra. It's got this little like band across the front as well. It's really, really comfortable to wear. It is slightly smaller than my other one, so I do tend to wear it at the point in the month where my boobs are smaller, and that's just the story of my life. But yeah, I love this. I love the color of it. I did want something that has a bit more of a color. A lot of my stuff is black, and that is just a lovely, very me color. I also have this sports bra but in like a muted lilac-y color, like a gray lilac, and I love that. So I did pick up the black version of it. So yeah, I love this as well. And my other one is actually quite big. I got it in a medium, and it like gapes at the front, and kind of like my boobs could fall out of it. It's loose. And this one has a really nice, what do you call this, like a little mesh bit on the back, which is really cute. Really, really happy with those. But yeah, that is my little gym haul. Also, I have done a blog post on my like essential things that you need for the gym, and just like a bigger wish list of fitness stuff. I don't really buy fitness stuff very often. I do a lot of hauls on this channel, but it's not really my thing. But because I am going to the gym a lot more often at the moment, I do find that I need more of a like regular rotation of my sports bras, because I just have to rewash everything so often. My washing machine is just constantly on. But anyway, that is on my blog. I hope you enjoy that. There's some cool pics that we shot on that as well, so definitely go over there and check that out. But yeah, I'm gonna go now. I hope you are all having a lovely day, and I will see you guys again in my next video. Bye.